sitting here in quiet reflection. What time is it? It's Monday, November 29th, 2021. It's 3:21 p.m. This morning here's the thing, I'm very confused about this entire legal process and law process in New York. There's been no, law guardian, a male figure of importance that I can ask questions of and that is looking out for my best interest. I don't have a father that's ever been, well, that I'm aware of, has ever been involved in criminal court. I mean, he's not a magistrate I'm aware of. I don't know if in other societies of only men things that they discuss, if perhaps he is that important. It's not something that he's not very, he doesn't wear it on the cuff, I suppose they say sometimes. And everybody seems so quiet and secretive. I don't know why I was brought into court. I don't know what any of this process really is. I thought it was because of Tia Frio and the breaking of the door, which doesn't even make sense. It's not a crime to break a door. But they hauled me off anyway, made me spend a night in jail for breaking a door. And it was a hollow core door, no less, with my foot and my shoulder. The bottom of it split. Anyway, it was a poorly made door, but so as Lewis was kind enough to bring me, we drove around the parking lot, and it's the Queens County Court, Criminal Court, I think it said on the top of the building. I think I was there once for jury duty. They called my name on some lottery. I had to go there. I had to sit in a room. I had to take off from work in order to go. Then they didn't call me in for a case of any kind. They let me go after the week was over. Then there was, but the parking was really bad. There's not enough spots for the whatever. So, and then we found out that the other spots are all designated different city places. And so then we had to find a parking garage, and the parking garage was called Little Man. I was like, boy, if they don't rub it in symbolically that you are a nothing when you come to this place, I mean, holy cow. And it's not cheap either. It was like $25. Originally, Michelle Oliveira, whatever her name is, she said that they were going to drop it. If Anthony didn't show up, everything would be dropped. Case closed, done. Great. Now, I show up, she doesn't show up, and now there's some new guy there. She said something about Ona Flaherty might be there, but she wasn't there. Some guy was there, and I don't know his name. And we sat from like 9:30 to almost 1 o'clock. It was by the time we left. And then everything changed while we're sitting there. It's now a new gentleman who does not give me the warm and fuzzy feeling of the Boy Scouts leaders out in Ronkonkoma that I mentioned yesterday that were there to train my son in kindergarten how to be a good Long Islander and North American participant. None of what was out there was even represented, really, as far as I could see anywhere in the court building. which really scares me because I really feel like I am so underrepresented and I have nothing but my father, and I don't want to dishonor my father, but I don't know that he's really aware of stuff that's going on. I really would like a Boy Scout leader from Suffolk County to just sit next to and be a little sister to his big brotherness. That would make me feel really protected in the state of New York. But that was not given to me. Instead, I had some gentleman that I did not know who called himself a lawyer, but there's no way to verify or check. It's not like I could go to his office. It's not like he carries his law degree. I don't know if it's his first day, if it's his 25th year. There's no research ability or anything given or afforded. Then he says that he's waiting for the district attorney, who I don't know who that is, male, female, I have no idea. I'm in a room called JP1 where there's a lot of tickets, and people are there for parking tickets, which is strange. And then all of a sudden, the man assigned to my case, taking Michelle's place, keeps going back and forth saying he's gonna call the DA has to be on their way, something along those lines. I'm like, I apologize. I was like, it's almost like you speak a different language. I'm not familiar with this process or with these terms. I was like, so he said the DA, and I'm like, thank you. Then while I'm waiting, some Jehovah's Witness came up to me. I have no idea. I've heard the name before. I have no idea what their process is or what they're all about. Just give me 1 second, thank you. I again, I stay out, or I try to not. She's, again, when people are really religious and they hold it really near and dear to their heart, I try to be understanding, but I try not to communicate in depths. So she crossed the room without invitation, and then she said something about, and another girl entered, had beautiful, looked like an actress in a movie I've never seen, but beautiful spirit. And then the Jehovah's Witness started speaking and addressing me with her psychological problems. Her mother's psycho behavior is something, BA educated, and she put her daughter on something called a Haldol, HALDOL, and the girl says that she's schizophrenic because she likes to smoke pot a lot. And I'm like, is that what I said? I don't ascribe to your human diagnosis or your mother's, and not to disrespect her. I was like, however, I don't, it might be the case for you. I don't know. I was like, but Lewis, we are two different people, this girl and myself. I was like, and because Lewis was in some form of agreement, which makes me uncomfortable because now I feel like he's pushing her diagnosis on me and I'm something totally different. And then I said, it's just hard because when I walk out my front door and I walk as far as my feet will carry me with semi-limp at the moment, some days are better than others. I was like, but I see some signs and paintings and symbols I don't recognize. And there's no real society or community. I was like, there's no jobs there. Like, I hear things on the television when they speak, and when I try to figure out what other people are doing, what I should be doing, but I don't, when I go out the front door, wherever my feet carry me, there's no, like, I don't see the jobs. I saw one place was hiring. I wanted to go in and apply. But you have to use a computer. I said, I'm really trying to stay away from computers. It's not something I ever wanted to take on, and it has taken on a whole nother whatever. I was like, I feel like I was pushed into this technological advancement that I never wanted. I don't find it enjoyable. I did not use my cell phone. I sat in that room for all those hours. Lewis had my cell phone on his inside pocket just in case either Michelle or somebody else called. But I did not touch my cell phone at all the entire time I was there. But everybody else in the room as I was sitting there was using cell phones. And I felt like continuously. And then the Jehovah's Witness was not kind enough to say, what about a CDL job? She offered some, and I said, again, I don't want to be a home health aide. I don't want, like, she said, what about driving? And I'm like, isn't that a lot? She's like, there's programs. I'm like, really? Now, how do you find out about these programs? And she's like, you have Google. I'm like, I'm trying to stay away from online. It makes it a little difficult. I was like, even people for myself with Lewis, between our age, I was like, there used to be people and process. There used to be like a hiring agency. You could go into a hiring agency, bring yourself, bring your resume, and then they had networks of employers and jobs, and there was process. It was great. It's like they don't even have that anymore. And now everything is they push for Monster or Indeed.com. You put your resume on there, and then you could sit for hours. And everybody says that they want you to be educated. Not only that, but now I have no back and forth communication. I have to guess and know the linguistics of some industry. I need career advice and development. I don't need to be guessing on a computer for applications. It's gotten so where everything is just so pushed towards this technology. So then finally, the they call him Your Honor in English. I've heard the judge's address. He was ready, and so I entered the courtroom, and he's different than anything I've ever seen before. Different process. So I'm not going to speak on that, but I am going to speak on the fact of the gentleman that was supposed to represent me that I had never met before couldn't verify that he even had a real law degree. Not to disrespect him, just I have no way of knowing. And he was covering for her. Then the I guess whoever was representing the other side, Anthony's side, Anthony didn't show up. They said that they were just going to drop it. Then it changed. Then the guy who represented me wanted me to take some AD something or other. No idea what that meant. And a year of probation. I'm like, what for? I was like, for what? He didn't tell me. And then the girl who shows up next to him, I guess we were waiting for, I guess that's the DA, she said she was just assigned this case, knew nothing about it, and that Anthony, whatever, would show up next time. And I'm like, he'll show up next time? No, that's a problem, because they said they were dropping everything. And so now she has to contact him, so now they've given a postponement date. And I'm like, what is how do I, so then Your Honor, the judge, magistrate, I don't know the proper words because but I could recognize the difference. He gave the whatever, and then I got a new paper, and then, he said, is there anything else in the discovery? But I don't know what that means, and I didn't want to address him directly because I didn't want to, dishonor myself, because I don't, again, know what discovery means and what it is that the three of them are in their process of doing that I wasn't made aware of. So I leave the room and I tell the I don't know what to call. Is he considered a law clerk? Is he considered a lawyer? Is he just a lawman? I don't know the words to address this person that I just met that I don't have never spoken with before. And I said to him, I said, I just want to, I know that the judge said, so I said, I just want to let you know, I was like, over the last few days, found out that City Hall removed a statue of Thomas Jefferson. And it's really concerning to me. I was like, did you know of this? And he said, no. He said he didn't know, and he's in the law buildings. I said, I spoke with an FDNY rep who confirmed for me it was the City Hall of New York City that removed the statue. I was like, that is really concerning for me. If they remove the statue out of the municipal hall, this is somebody who's on the Black Hills of South Dakota, our Washington Monument, our Mount Rushmore, that face, they removed. I was like, but no, but I didn't know, you didn't know. I was like, and I was like, it's on our floating monetary currency. The most important thing that everybody, I mean, I don't have any of it, but most important thing everybody tries to protect is the money system, the backbone with these monuments. I was like, and they just removed it. I said, it is a real concern to me. So my father grabs my arm like I'm some mental patient and is like, okay, Nicole, that's enough, and to escort me out. And the lawman's looking at me like I'm a crazy woman. And I'm like, this is really concerning because I don't know what it means in actuality because I haven't been privy enough to study the law. But I know that when you have monumental figures being withdrawn out of the legal process, I mean, I think that City Halls where they say that they write legislation for New York City. Well, how am I supposed to be part of the process if they've removed the statue and if they're not communicating directly with us? How do I keep myself safe? How do I keep myself out of a criminal court if I can't even know what the laws and the statutes are and what they're addressing or they're I mean this where's my constitution rights? I'm just curious because I don't understand. I feel like I've been infringed upon horribly. I don't even know how do I protect my constitution. I know I have free speech. There's a few of them. Free speech being the number one. But I don't know why I'm being brought into this place when I'm down to just walking the streets of my residence, of my area, documenting some of the environmental and atmospheric changes I've noticed with my own health changes and trying to figure out how to get employment so I can make currency legally without as an employee, but I'm having trouble finding entryway to a society and I don't even know the vocabulary or the words to know what to look for or to even what to ask for because there's been no coach or no community leader or no I don't know I hear this word activist. I don't even know. That's a scary word for me though because that seems very brutish and abrasive, and I'm not looking for brutish and abrasive. I'm just looking for down home safety net big brother like the Boy Scouts. Those I know for sure I would have liked to have sat with them about career development and some financial planning and like future for myself to help me stay on the correct path. However I could contribute to them and the safety of our network. But I'm not even in that network anymore, or I don't feel that I have access to them readily. I don't have phone numbers or know even where to seek them out. I don't know what they do for a living. I don't even, based on my memory and the limited of the experience of signing Ben up for, and that was 21 years ago. But I know Ben's on a roster for Boy Scouts, that much I know. And I know I gave my permission that they can follow his whatever to protect and to whatever and whatever. So I know that if I put something up, like a help me ad, perhaps without payment or without whatever, and maybe I can get some help. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. And while I was there at the criminal courthouse, I sat on one of the benches for a long time and without phone, and I started trying to decipher some of the code on the back of the bench. There's some words that actually make English sense, and then there's some that do not. And then there was some symbols, but again, nothing that I could recognize or communicate effectively on at this point, because they're just pictures that they've used in everyday life around within my life frame, that I have perhaps one attachment to, but I don't know if anybody has spun that into a different trademark or hallmark or something along those lines that might put me in danger. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza.